And you are taking a live look over downtown Houston this morning. It's a little foggy, a little dreary out there. Thanks so much for waking up with us. I'm Katira Winfrey. Meteorologist Ryan Shoptaw joins us. Ryan, it looks like we may have to bring an umbrella if we have any afternoon plans.
Yeah, hey there, Katira. Good morning.
And we have lots of road work going on across the Houston area that may impact your weekend plans. Here's Jennifer Reyna with what you need to know before you head out the door. And breaking overnight, a man is dead after being hit and killed by a pickup truck in southeast Houston. Police say around 10:20 last night, a man was sitting on the curb on Selinsky Road and Rockford Drive. A witness reportedly tried to get him out of the road, but he didn't move and was hit and died on scene. The truck driver stayed at the scene and did not show any signs of impairment. New this morning, Iran has announced they will close the Strait of Hormuz less than 24 hours after announcing it was open. Iran says they will continue to block the strait as long as the U.S. blockade of Iranian ports remains in effect. This comes as President Donald Trump announced yesterday the blockade of Iranian ports will continue despite the Strait of Hormuz being reopened until a deal is reached with Iran. The major sticking point in negotiations is Iran's nuclear program. And the conflict is affecting fuel prices around the world and here at home. According to AAA, the average price for regular fuel, $3.76 a gallon, down about 10 cents from a week ago. Premium is sitting at $4.76 currently, with diesel at $5.09 a gallon. Of course, we will continue to watch to see how today's announcement will affect how much you pay at the pump. Right now, the man accused of killing a woman who was pregnant with his unborn child is still on the run, as new information is now being revealed on the accused killer's past. Kevin Fox is charged with capital murder in the death of 23-year-old Ashanti Allen, the mother of his unborn child. Allen was last seen last week on Thursday, and her family got a text message claiming she was leaving and not coming back. Allen's family tracked her phone to Fox's mother's home, where they found him in Ashanti's car. Fox didn't give an answer when her family asked where she was. Allen's family recently learned Fox had been charged with assaulting her in the past.
I didn't know anything about the incidents until she became missing, because if I would have knew that, he would have never been around my daughter.
And court documents reveal in 2019, Fox was charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. He then got deferred adjudication and picked up another charge for assaulting another woman. That charge was eventually dismissed when he was convicted on the first case. He served 2 years in prison. But in Allen's assault case filed just last year, prosecutors agreed to a plea deal. Fox got credit for time served while he was in jail. Well, if you or someone you know is involved in an abusive relationship, you can reach out to the National Domestic Violence Hotline. Just text the word START to 88788 or call 800-799-SAFE. This morning, a Houston police lieutenant is accused of violating his sworn oath to protect and serve. KHOU Viet No has been fired after being charged with online solicitation of a minor. Constable Alan Rosen says the lieutenant thought he was going to meet a 15-year-old girl yesterday morning for sex, but that didn't happen. Instead, the former lieutenant was met by officers and arrested. The constable says deputies posing as minors online are working constantly to catch predators. That's what he says happened in this case, which started a week and a half ago. The lieutenant had been with the department for more than 20 years.
It's just a sad day because this guy was in our profession. And anytime an officer does something wrong, something as serious as this, is just bad.
No had been assigned to HPD's division at Hobby Airport. Yesterday afternoon, the department released a statement saying it assisted with the investigation and that No had been relieved of duty. Constable Rosen also has a message for parents looking to keep their children safe.
Getting involved with your children's online persona, you know, making sure that you know where they're going, especially at 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night. They shouldn't be up in the first place, but if they are, you need to know who they're talking to. So you need to be active. You need to have those conversations with your children about the dangers and perils of being online.
Constable Rosen says they're not sure how long this may have been happening. Well, the time is now 9:07 and still to come. Questionable. That's the Rockets star Kevin Durant's status ahead of their first round playoff game against the Lakers. What it means and how the Lakers are shaping up. And the Ironman Texas is taking over the Woodlands today. What the athletes have to take on and the impact to your weekend drive. Welcome back. Your time is now 9:10 and bringing us to a look at some of the morning's other top stories. This isn't what Rockets fans want to see. Kevin Durant listed as questionable ahead of the Rockets' first round playoff opener in Los Angeles later tonight. The Lakers themselves are shorthanded with both Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves out indefinitely. In Louisiana, a trial date has been set for 8 of the 10 inmates who escaped the Orleans Justice Center last May. The 8 appeared in court in New Orleans, where their trial was scheduled for mid-September. 2 other inmates had previously been found incompetent to stand trial, are undergoing treatment at a state prison. All are charged with simple escape. Authorities say the inmates escaped through a hole from a ripped-out toilet in a cell pod. The break led to a national search. And take a look at this. A reported tornado devastates homes in Lena, Illinois. That's 48 miles west of Rockford yesterday. This tower cam capturing the wall of clouds as the twister rushed in and the aftermath. Roofs torn off homes. Debris scattered all over yards. Cars crushed as Mother Nature makes her presence known. The system also brought reported tornadoes, storms, and flooding to other states like Minnesota, Missouri, and Wisconsin. Well, Ryan, we were talking earlier about the chance of rain. I don't think anything as major as tornadoes hopefully aren't in our forecast.
Yeah, Katira, nothing like that this evening.
Well, this is the perfect weather to stay in home, and I'm a huge fan of that. Unfortunately, I don't get to do that, but hopefully someone else does. Thanks, Ryan.
All right.
Well, the time is now 9:16. After the break, the Ironman Texas is taking over the Woodlands this morning. The intense work these athletes are putting in and road closures you need to know about before heading out the door. Happening now, the Ironman Texas is well underway in the Woodlands. Ironman Texas Triathletes race includes a 2.4-mile swim in Lake Woodlands starting at North Shore Park. They'll then take off on a 112-mile bike ride and finish with a 26.2-mile run, ending at the Waterway Avenue Bridge. The competition will close the southbound main lanes of the Hardy Toll Road from I-45 to 610, and the westbound Hardy Toll Road Airport connector will be closed until 6 this afternoon. Well, the time is now 9:19. Still ahead, caught on camera. An alleged drunk driver plows through a Baytown yard. The suspects crashing in and the high cost of the damage. Millions of dollars are in limbo thanks to a dispute about immigration between the state and the city of Houston, the looming deadline, and what the mayor wants. And you are taking a live look over downtown Houston this morning. It looks a little gloomy, a little foggy, but good morning to you. Thank you for waking up with us. I'm Katira Winfrey. Meteorologist Ryan Choptaw joins us now. Ryan, we were talking earlier that you might need to have your umbrellas handy because we do have a little bit of rain coming our way.
Yeah, just in case.
And we have lots of road work going on across the Houston area that may impact your weekend plans. Here's Jennifer Reyna with what you need to know before you head out. All right, well, Fleet Week continues, and Fleet Week Houston continues this weekend with a chance to see military aircraft up close for free. And it's happening today. A special guest will be there, a 98-year-old Navy veteran returning to see the very planes he once flew. KHOU 11's Michelle Choi is live at the Lone Star Flight Museum with the preview. Michelle.
To you.
Always cool to hear those stories from veterans, and just at 98 years old, I can imagine he has so many stories to tell.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Michelle. Now, switching gears, the war with Iran could send senior U.S. officials back to Pakistan for more negotiations, according to several people familiar with the deliberations. But recent developments, including the opening and closing of the Strait of Hormuz in less than 24 hours, are casting doubt on the prospects of a deal. CBS News correspondent Shauna Mizell is in Houston with the latest. And the current conflict is affecting fuel prices around the world and here at home. According to AAA, the average price for regular fuel is $3.76 a gallon, down about 10 cents from a week ago. Premium is sitting at $4.76 currently, with diesel at $5.09 a gallon. Of course, we will continue to watch to see how today's announcement will affect how much you pay at the pump. An urgent search continues this morning in Galveston County for the remains of two girls tied to the Texas Killing Fields cold case. Investigators are now looking for more than just human remains at a Bay Cliff property connected to suspect James Elmore Jr. Newly obtained warrants showed they're also searching for child pornography they believe he had when he was arrested. Crews have been searching above and below ground for 2 days, but so far no remains have been found. We talked to a woman who grew up a block away. She didn't want to show her face on camera.
I'm hoping that if there is any bones, bodies, missing people here, that family is still around to where they can have closure for their missing loved ones.
And authorities say the process is slow and there's no clear timeline for when the search will end. An 18-year-old Elsik High School student is accused of bringing a loaded gun to campus earlier this week. Court records say Osvan Cruz brought the weapon to school Wednesday and says he has prior weapons charges. Alief ISD says the gun was quickly confiscated and the student was removed. The district says messages about the incident were sent to parents through an internal platform, but some parents and students tell us they were never notified. Cruz is facing a felony weapon charge and has since bonded out. This morning, Mayor John Whitmire tells us he's trying to come up with a compromise to save $110 million in public safety funding from the state. This is all over the city's recently passed ordinance that limits Houston police officers' cooperation with federal immigration agents. Governor Abbott says Houston is breaking its end of the deal, so the state wants the grant money back. Now, the city council has until next Wednesday to repeal the ordinance, or the state says it will send a bill.
Language is bringing the two parties together, and it's going to protect our residents and protect the city's finances. That's my goal. I'm encouraged because the council members, many of them, I believe a majority of them, know how critical this is.
And meanwhile, City Council member Alejandra Salinas wants the city attorney to file for a temporary restraining order against the state to fight the lawsuit that was brought by Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton yesterday. An intersection closed for 6 weeks because of this so-called void is just now reopening. Officials in Fort Bend say they have made all the repairs and South Mason and Westheimer is now safe for drivers. Now to repairs to a massive sinkhole in northwest Harris County where the work to fix it continues. The hole opened Tuesday near Veterans Memorial and Belmont North Houston. It's still unclear when the road will reopen. Drivers are urged to avoid that area. And starting next week, anticipate some big changes happening downtown. Marcelino Benito takes us through the project that could mean you have to find a new place to park. All right, well, the time is now 9:41 and still ahead. Breaking ground, a new facility opening soon to fight the invasive screwworm species and how it will help the cattle industry. And back-to-back rescues of animals in Sugar Land, the warning as storm season approaches. The federal government broke ground yesterday on a multi-million-dollar facility in Edinburgh to protect against the New World screwworm parasite. Take a look. The new facility at Moore Air Force Base near Edinburgh will create sterile New World screwworm flies. The United States Department of Agriculture will release those flies to stop the infected or pest flies from breeding. Alrighty, so we have some rainy weather ahead, but not anything too crazy. Am I right, Ryan?
Yeah, nothing too crazy. That's the big takeaway for this weekend or tonight. Katira?
Awesome. Well, at least we can take advantage of the cooler weather despite the rain. All right. Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah.
The time is now 9:47, and coming up, back-to-back animal rescues in Sugar Land may be part of a bigger problem. The warning this morning as storm season approaches. But first, as we take a live look outside, here's a special deal for our viewers. Sometimes when it storms, animals get swept into sewage drains and you may want to save them. But as Michelle Choi explains on the KHOU 11 app, it's not the safest idea. The time is now 9:53, and here's a final look outside as we go to break. Right, well, thanks for being up with us. I'm Katira Winfrey. Have a great day and enjoy this moment of Zen.